My name is AC, and I'm with the Positive Arts Movement. And I'm so excited today to have the opportunity to introduce you to not only one of my dearest friends, but also somebody who is a guru when it comes to the tone of like anything that has to do with like scholarships and helping students go to school and helping them prepare well in advance to get those monies, because we all need those coins to send our kids to college. Introducing Miss Educational Consultant and Educator, Miss Diedra Bell.
Hi, Angela.
Hey,
Thank you for
Diedra.
having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for being part of this exciting, letting me be part of your exciting journey. When I tell you, Diedra, I've seen this from the gate, from the very beginning. I remember when you were looking at scholarships for your son, and then you decided to have a heart enough for it, for the cause to start sharing with others. And now you're headed to orbit. And I can't wait to see what all is going to happen with your movement. So first of all, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your gift and being generous enough to not only see your son through a very prosperous, educational experience because of the scholarships he's received, but also for you, being willing to give back, because that's what it's about. You have a village mentality.
Yes.
So let me start off by asking you to start off by kind of introducing yourself in your own words and, giving us an idea of who you are. Because, at the end of the day, you're a mother like the rest of us and you have a mission.
Yes. I'm mother first. I'm an educator. However, my biggest job or my greatest joy is being a mom. Of course, I have 2 children and I have a grandson, but it's my youngest son who kind of got me started. And I'm not going to say he got me started, but it was through, I guess, my time of, what would I call it? I guess me having that epiphany when it was time to start getting him that exposure, kind of started with, and I don't want to get too far ahead, but I do you want me to go ahead and kind of talk about how it started?
Yes, absolutely. Please do. I would love to hear that part.
Okay, so yeah, it started when Josh was actually in elementary school, probably 4th or 5th grade. When we found out he was gifted, and then he was involved in this Duke Tip program for gifted students, 4th grade on up, and he actually took a kind of a pre-PSAT.
Okay.
And when I received those scores and saw how well he tested, that's when I realized that, okay, there's something there. And from there, it was, okay, I'm going to have to start trying to figure out what I need to do to get this kid where he needs to go. Because as a parent, when you see something in your child. So I began to look for programs, summer programs and things like that, that I could get them involved in. And as I started to do research, I started to find out that there were free programs, a lot of free programs out there. And I think his first free program was actually a NASA, it was like NASA sponsored program. It was at an elementary school. Right. However, Josh, it was either at elementary or middle school, but he was able to go. And I remember when I got that information, I shared it like with my brother, because I have nephews that are the same age, and I think I shared it with a cousin. And so it kind of started there, finding this information and sharing it with those that I love. And then I started to just find out that there's so many programs out there. And so it made me want to know more. And so I started to seek, and it was amazing, all the programs that I started to find. And so by the time Josh was early high school, um, that's when I said, okay, I saw him kind of heading toward a science track, and I started finding STEM programs. Morehouse had a STEM program. It was a free program. He was able to go every day for a month, to sit and have classes with college students. He didn't receive credit, however, he was able to get that exposure. And I would take him. I would get up every morning and drive from Snellville to Atlanta in that traffic, that morning traffic.
Dedication. Dedication,
Oh,
mama.
yes, 7:30. And he was there from 7:30 to I think 4:30 or something like that. And that's when I really started to see that he was really into science. He did a presentation on black holes, and I'm saying holes as an HOLES. And he did a presentation. He had a partner, and when I saw that presentation, I was amazed. You know, it was like, I don't know, it was like he was starting to become this. He was evolving into a little young scientist, I'll say.
Nice.
And so it kind of from there, it was from he went there, he did University of Alabama, he did an engineering program there, summer program. And that is when he had the epiphany. I had the epiphany, but he had the epiphany that he wanted to be a mechanical engineer, and he found out that he could get certified and make more money. And so he was very adamant about becoming a mechanical engineer. And so anyway, just through this whole process, I'm learning about all these programs, and I'm sharing. And you know, and I'm kind of skipping around, but there was a friend of mine, Vanessa Brown, who said, look, Diedra, she said, you're always sharing these programs. She said, have you considered getting a Facebook, starting a group page? And I said, no, I've never considered that. So she said, I think I should, you should. And I was nervous because I'm like, well, you know, I'm not a subject matter expert. Why would I be starting a, you know, a Facebook page? And you know, a lot of times we get in our head, we get in our own way. And so I listened, and I started that group page. And from there, I just started sharing all the information that I would find just on college planning, college prep,
Yeah.
the importance of, you know, that enrichment, the importance of planning ahead as parents, you know, to ensure that our children are taking the right math and science classes, to ensure that they're on the right track, so that when they do get to high school, they'll whatever track they get on, they'll have what they need.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's been a journey.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel really good knowing that that I'm able to share something that I'm passionate about, and it makes an impact in people's lives.
Absolutely. You know, I am Team Josh and Team Deidre. And I remember being at some of his ceremonies where he was actually, you know, a recipient of some of these scholarships. And I remember he got the Kappas did something for him. And I was like, wow, Deidre is on fire. Like, she really knows how to source these, you know, resources for college students that are looking to go to school. And what really stood out to me again was the fact that you were willing to help other people do this. And so I've seen the evolution. Go Josh, I'm proud of him. And, you know, the one thing I can say is that, you know, engineering is very ambitious, and he was very, you know, he showed early signs, but there are also students who will qualify for scholarships in other areas, you know, the arts, you know, education, it just, you name it. And sometimes students show up very early in life. Sometimes it takes them a little while longer. But at the end of the day, what it all boils down to is that if they're college bound, they do need resources and financial, you know, support in most cases to be able to go to college. So I'm going to take a moment here and share my screen, because I actually would like for the viewers to have an opportunity to see the Facebook group that you have that's active and amazing. So if you'll give me just a moment, I'd love to show that. I'd love to show that.
Okay, and while you're pulling that up, one thing that I failed to mention is that this group page is, I started it with the heart and the passion of helping minority students.
Yes.
And I know that there are a lot of students who can benefit from this information. However, I felt that a lot of the programs and things like that that are out there, this information is not, it is not easy to find. And so I really wanted to ensure that minority students and parents have access
Very nice.
to the information that I share.
Look, and so Josh is already in his second year of college, but in your about, you're saying that you're a mother of an African-American son who's a junior in high school. And that, like many of you, you've been overwhelmed as it pertains to preparing for my son for college. And so this page is phenomenal because there are hundreds of members who are benefiting from learning about this opportunity. In fact, it looks like you put something up just earlier today for women at least 21 years old looking for tuition-free school in tech. And I was like, okay, wow, that's really good to know, because even if we don't have college-bound students or children of our own, we know people who do, and your page is very shareable, very easy to read, very inspirational. You even go so far as to let them know when deadlines are approaching. In fact, this one right here is approaching and they need to know, they need to apply by March 7th, you know? So, hey, that was a gimme right there for anybody that happens to be tuned in that's looking for something rooted in science. Okay, and so good for you, Diedra. And so let me ask you this, because I think I know the answer. You have a heart for this sort of thing. I'm going to stop sharing now. But again, anybody that's interested in landing on her page, it is Minority Parents of High Schoolers Bridging the Gap. Awesome. I love that. And there is a gap. There is a gap. We do have to be honest about that. Yes. So as we continue to talk, I'd love to learn about your motivation, because like we discussed earlier, you know, scholarships are competitive in nature. Oftentimes they're not always merit-based, and students have to actually set out for them and compete against other students to narrow it down to the point to where, you know, the committee decides who gets the scholarship. But your heart is set up in such a way to where you wanted to help other people be aware of these same scholarships you all were competing for. So let's dig a little deeper and understand, you know, what it is that motivated you to share with others.
Well, I've always been the type of person that I feel that what God has for me is for me. Okay. What God has for my children is for my children.
Amen.
And so even though there were scholarships that Josh was applying for, I would still post them on my page, because I'm a believer, and I know that if Josh is meant to receive the scholarship, he'll receive it. And so it doesn't matter how much competition he has. And guess what? In life, children are going to compete against other people. So, I mean, I've always felt that way. So, and I've never been the type of person that felt that I'm going to hold on to this information because I just want my son to get what, you know, I want him to get it all. That's not how God works. What's for him is for him. And so I just believe that if I share the information, there's going to be, even if people don't always read my posts, I just believe that the people that those parents that are that really want it for their children are going to, they're going to seek the information because I'm really doing the footwork for you. So really, if you just read my post, the information is there.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. Like, I mean, I wish I had this type of platform, had access to a platform like this when I was seeking, you know, these programs for Josh. I wish I had it where all I have to do is just click and read it and see what applies.
Well, you know what they say is that the most successful entrepreneurs find a need and fill it. That's all. It's very simple. It's not that you had to be somebody extraordinary, not even that your son had to be in order to earn these scholarships. It was just that you were ambitious and you had the wherewithal to go after it. And you said, you know what, I'm going to do it and I'm going to make it work for my son. So you and the fact that you're willing to share and you led with your heart first will eventually lead, I believe, to tens of thousands of mothers in Atlanta and beyond that will benefit, and their children will benefit from the information that you're sharing. So I know for sure this thing is going to be huge for you. It's going to be huge, and it's already tracking in that direction, Diedra. So
well, I appreciate the love. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, there is something that's coming up on the 12th of this month to where people would have the opportunity to meet you in real life and have a fireside chat with not only you, but also, if your son is available that day, your son Josh, so he can explain what the benefits are for what it is that his mother did and all the research that she did early on and how that's currently benefiting him. And during that fireside chat, you're going to share some resources and also talk about some of the challenges and some of the opportunities that are out there that people just may not even know about. So it definitely sounds like an event worth attending. Are you excited?
I am. I'm so excited. I've never done anything like this before. So I'm nervous, but I'm also excited about the opportunity because it's really just, like I always tell people, I don't consider I've never done college recruiting or anything like that. So I do not protest to be a subject matter expert. I can only speak on what has worked for my son. And
you know, let me interject and say this because you're going to be humble and that's just how your heart is set up. But let me brag on you since you won't brag on you. As far as I'm concerned, because I've never done the footwork, I haven't done the research, I haven't gone so far as to develop a group of hundreds of people that benefit from my knowledge every day. So in my eyes, you are in fact a subject matter expert in this area. And it makes perfect sense for people to kind of sit and learn from you. You know, my children are already done with college. They've already moved on. They're much older, but I wish that I had really fully taken advantage of some of your teachings when my sons were on their way into college. I may have done it the long way or the more expensive way, to be honest. Just simply because, you know, we're busy. We have a lot going on. We're in the throes of things. And to be able to simplify things and streamline it for us to where all we have to do is scroll up a page and see, oh, this looks like something my son could have benefited from or something that my daughter could benefit from, like that tech school, for example. Wow, who knew? Who knew? So, you know, just to kind of give some information, I have some background information here about the event that's going to be taking place. Special shout out to our dear friend Reggie Love Cason.
Yes, thank you, Reggie.
Yes, thank you, Reggie. He's an executive at Europe. He is also one of the co-founders of the Positive Arts Movement. So he and I founded that organization together. And this coming on the 12th, actually, which I believe is next Saturday, they are having a fireside chat in care of Rhythm and Rhymes at the Fulton County Central Library. The hours are from 2 until 4 p.m. And it is, again, a scholarship fireside chat with Diedra and Josh. So you want to attend, it'll be worth your time because imagine if Diedra were to expose you to a $500 scholarship, you go after it and you get it. That $500 would have been, with that time would have been well worth spent, right? So I definitely can't wait to see you shine in that light. And even though this is the first time you've done it, there was a first time that anybody who's successful did anything.
Yeah, that's true.
There was a very first time Oprah ever sat in front of a TV camera, and look at her now. Okay.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
You are going above and beyond, because I know as an educational consultant, you'll be able to eventually offer these products and services to individual families and kind of customize it and narrow it down for them. And, you know, do something like that for clients, which should be your end goal, because this information is worthwhile. It's worth a ton. So let me ask you this, because now I'm super excited, as though I wasn't already. You are putting together a memorial scholarship fund. Can we please talk about your desire to do that and where that came from.
Yeah, so I've only told my brother, so nobody else in my family knows this.
Oh,
But
exclusive.
so I am starting a scholarship fund in my mother's honor. Her name is
Ooh,
Brenda Faye Perkins.
yes.
Yeah, she passed away 13 years ago.
Okay.
And my mother is a very smart woman. She started college, however, she went on a different path and did not finish. However, she made sure that my brother and I went to school and that we were supported. And so I thought that it would be how can I put it? I just thought, I just really wanted to do something to help a child, a high school student, and I wanted to do it in my mother's honor. She was a very kind person, and so I really want to help a high school student, whether or not they attend a public high school or a private high school. I'm going to be looking for a Georgia resident.
Yes.
And we are starting this scholarship fund. We're in the very early stages of it.
Okay.
And we're going to be partnering with the Positive Arts Movement to do that. Yes. I'm so excited, and I know that my mother would be thrilled to know that that she will be able to help a child go to college.
Absolutely.
Because we all know how expensive college can be, and although we don't know the amount yet, that, you know, as a parent of a college student, you know, $100 helps. You know, every dollar helps. And so, yeah, that's my goal.
You know what? Let me tell you, Diedra. So it may start off as a micro scholarship, but it will eventually evolve into major scholarships for many, many students all over the nation.
That would make my heart smile.
Yes, this is what we're embracing. And not only that, but this is also a way to immortalize the legacy that your mother set forth. Obviously, your mother's influence helped you with your caring and generous heart.
Oh, definitely.
Which led to this, which will then lead to the benefit of other students getting what your son got. So it's like her legacy is going to go beyond and beyond. And so congratulations for that beautiful gesture, honoring your mother. Of course, the Positive Arts Movement is all about that life. Like the Positive Arts Movement, we use the performing arts to inspire social change. And we also inspire and help our youth, okay, especially in underserved communities. And so this partnership makes perfect sense to us because we mount events, we have different functions and, you know, different events that will, you know, align with pursuing like things that are helpful to people, purpose, you know, creating purposeful events, okay, partying with a purpose, you know, everything we've ever done ended up eventually feeding back into the community. And that's what we stand beside. And that's exactly what you're doing. So this is a perfect partnership. And thank you for giving the Positive Arts Movement the opportunity to be in this with you. Like, it's exciting. Like, we have one thing already planned that we're super excited about. I've been telling people on my social media page to save the date, which is April 30th of 2022. So this interview right here is actually giving us an opportunity to speak to that thing. So one of the events, because we're going to do two in one day, one of the events is called The Beauty Within. Okay. Now, the Positive Arts Movement, in partnership with Signature Ventures and Diedra Bell, is about having an interactive and inspirational brunch experience to where we'll be celebrating sisterhood, motherhood, and mentorship in celebration and recognition of the beauty we all possess inside and out. This is a ticketed event. There will be motivational speakers, there will be music, there will be, you know, giveaways, there'll be vendors. But most importantly, the proceeds, and we're gonna have an amazing breakfast. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you that right now. And a mimosa toast for those of us that indulge a little something. But what I'm most excited about is that a portion of these proceeds are going to start and, support this fund that Diedra is putting together for scholarships of her own. So not only will she be talking about scholarships that are out there, but she's going to actually add to the pot and create scholarships for other people as well. So I'm super excited about that. So please mark your calendars for
I am too.
event. Oh yeah, for sure. I'll make sure to put details below about the fireside chat. I'm going to put details below about how to find Diedra's group page. I'm going to put comments below about how to engage and how to support the Beauty Within. Even if you can't come and you just want to give money as a donation to help with this fund, we would greatly appreciate any support that you can give from afar, or even if you come to the brunch. I'm talking about we're going to get dolled up. We're going to get cute, Diedra.
Yes, we are.
We're going to represent that Sassy Jones. We're going to do that. Okay, so
yes.
I'm extremely excited, very grateful to you for your time tonight. Thank you so much for all that you do and all the love that you continue to spread all the way across to other people and their children as well. Thank you for all the work you do every day as an educator as well, okay? I know that this is a passion of yours, and I can't think of anybody more worthy or deserving to sow into as you continue your path.
Well, I appreciate it.
To share?
I really appreciate it. This scholarship fund is something that I'm just really excited about it. And my prayer is that people will donate, and they'll, because there's a need. We all know there's a need. And so my prayer is that people will donate in my mother's honor, so we can help a child. Well, I mean, depending on the amount, Angela, maybe we could make it to where it goes to more than one student. Who knows?
Yes.
Multiple children. I mean, that would be a great thing to see. So
you can just
I'm looking forward to what the future holds, guys. I'm just, like Angela said, I lead with my heart, and I just want to continue getting this information out here to people. And I want parents to know that I know that it's hard out there, especially our single parents. I know it gets difficult, and you're faced with some really hard decisions that you have to make, but know that that you have support. Please continue to go to my page. If you haven't joined my page, please, my group page rather, please join, and hopefully you can find some information on there that can benefit your child. But you have to remember, you have to do what's best for your family. I always tell people that you have to do what's best for your family, and don't compare. Please don't compare somebody else's situation to yours.
Yeah.
Because we all have a unique situation. So
that's right. Thank you for saying that. That's for sure. Well, all right. I guess we better wrap it on up. Please share this video with anybody else that you think can benefit from it. We look forward to seeing each and every one of you. If you took the time to view this video, you will love the brunch. Come out for the brunch and also the fireside chat next week. Okay, we'll definitely keep you in close touch. Diedra Bell, thank you so very much. We do appreciate it.
Thank you, Angela, for having me.
Of course, you're welcome. Have a great one.
You too.
Okay.